Hello, Bizarre Boys. Let's dive right in. So the very first step is preparation, and we're going to prepare our simple syrup and our garnishes. So simple syrup is a critical ingredient in all cocktails. A lot of cocktails like old fashions and daiquiris, a lot of the 3 ingredient cocktails that are out there. So simple syrup is pretty easy to make. Get a big pot of boiling water, dump a lot of sugar in there, and what you want in the end is to get a viscous liquid like this. It might be a little yellow, but the consistency of simple syrup, maple syrup, is something that you're going for. So that's simple syrup, pretty straightforward. The other garnishes, the other ingredient is garnishes. We have lime and lemon garnishes. So for lemon garnishes, what I've done is peeled off the skin of lemons. And what you see here is, the white part here is the rind, and that's really what you want when you peel off the skin. That is what has the essential oils in the citruses, and that's what kind of will squeeze out when you squeeze it over a cocktail and wipe the lip, and that's what will give the lip of the cocktail a nice citrusy flavor. The other garnish is pretty straightforward. It's a lime wheel, and all you got to do is cut your limes in a way to make them like this, and then that's it. Slap them on the cocktail. So those are your preparations for garnishes and for simple syrup. All right, the next stage is glassware. So here we have 3 of our very classic cocktail glasses. This is the Collins glass for cocktails like the Moscow Mule or mojitos. This is a Ross glass for things like Negronis and old fashions. This is your coupe glass, which is really used for shaken drinks like a daiquiri, and sometimes Manhattans as well. But these 3 glasses will cover about 70% of all the cocktails you're gonna have. So if you have 3 of these, you're gonna be okay and be able to make a majority of the cocktails out there. Here I have a tea maker, but I'm gonna use it to stir my cocktail, aka the old fashioned. It's typically just a random thing I found, but you can use whatever you have in the house. If you have a pint glass for beer, that's a perfect device to stir cocktails in. So that's an overview of cocktail glasses. All right, super quick overview of ice. Here we have 2 different kinds of ice. Here is the ice you get from your regular old freezer. That should serve you well in 99% of the cases. We're gonna use it to shake our cocktails and make them really cold. And you can also use it inside your cocktails as well, just to keep them cold as you drink them. Here we have kind of your beautiful cube ice. Not 100% necessary, but these molds are pretty cheap to get, from anywhere from $5 to $8. So it's a pretty easy investment to make, and you get this beautiful cube ice, which is great for non-fruity cocktails like old fashions or Negronis. Okay, on to the materials part of bartending. This is the foundation of good cocktail making, and this is the Boston Shaker, signified by its little guy and the big guy. You'll see a lot of variations out there. On the shaker, you'll see the big guy with a little cap on it. You don't want that. It holds too little liquid. So you just want to go for the classic, the Boston Shaker. You put the little guy on top of the big guy, and to form a watertight seal, which will help you shake the cocktail and make it cold. So that's the Boston Shaker. Here we have our measuring cups. What's most important is that you can measure half, 3/4, and a 1 ounce, and that should get you most of the cocktail measurements out there. Here we have our ice strainer, which you're going to put on top of the shaker after you've done shaking it, and use it to strain the ice as you pour it out into the cocktail. That's the ice strainer. The other things here is we have our stirring spoon, used to stir cocktails, of course, and here we have our muddler, which is used to muddle things like mint or sugar for cocktails like mojito. Won't get into that today, but that's what the muddler is. Lastly, we have the juice press. Again, not necessary if you want to caveman style it and just use your hands, but I like it because it's a little bit more precise and elegant for your cocktail measurements. So that's an overview of the materials.